Now let us consider the helical spring, fixed end. Helical springs, one of the end is connected with this, and right now it is free. That means no load is offered. Now in the second position, some load is offered. Mass m. This was the equilibrium condition, equilibrium position. Now mass mg is the force that is applied in the downward direction. System is trying to establish its equilibrium condition, so stiffness will play a big role. How? We know that stiffness K is equal to load per unit deflection. Okay, that means force offered due to stiffness property is nothing but multiplication of K and deflection delta. So force offered by stiffness is stiffness constant into delta. Remember that stiffness is the inherent property of the material from where the spring has been made. So the upward force, resistive force, is nothing but K into delta, purely due to stiffness property. Okay, so under the influence of suppose stiffness constant is larger, in that case system will immediately come back to its equilibrium condition. Okay, otherwise what happens? It oscillates. Initially it is here, then after mass will go to this another location, again it will come back, again another location, till the energy is purely dissipated and it will come to equilibrium condition. This cycle will be continued. Here we have one equation, mass into g, that means downward force, is equal to stiffness constant into delta. Delta is deflection. Okay, now mg is equal to k into delta. G is nothing but acceleration. So suppose displacement is represented by x, so acceleration will be x double dot. So here g will be replaced by x double dot. Second, it is the second order differentiation of displacement, and k is nothing but displacement delta or deflection x. So final equation will be, whether it is visible or not, yes, it is visible. Therefore mx double dot kx is in upward direction, so we are using positive for downward direction and negative sign for upward direction. Okay, here it is minus, so plus kx is equal to 0. Therefore x double dot plus k upon m x is equal to 0, and when we compare it with simple harmonic motion equation, this k by m is nothing but square of natural frequency, angular natural frequency. Therefore omega n square is equal to k upon m. Omega n square is equal to k upon m. We know that frequency f is equal to angular frequency omega is equal to 2 pi f. Therefore f is equal to 1 upon 2 pi omega, so it is equal to 1 upon 2 pi square root k by m. F is 1 upon 2 pi square root k by m. Okay, now these are the basics. One should keep this in mind. Now here the aim is to study the longitudinal vibration of helical spring. There are two inherent aims. First, determination of stiffness constant of a spring, and second, determination of natural frequency of the system, natural frequency of the system. So therefore what we will going to do, first of all, here we are going to measure initial length. Definitely it will be constant for all the readings, because initial length is not going to vary. After that we are going to measure this length, that is final length, and when we subtract final length and when we subtract initial length from final length, we are getting deflection. And deflection is, we have already understood, deflection is load by stiffness is load by deflection. And how this force is to be calculated? Force is nothing but this mass into gravitational component or gravitational acceleration g. So stiffness can be easily calculated. Now let us do it. Here the observation table is like this. I think from here it is visible. Initial length, then comes mass that you have attached, initial length in meter, mass in kg, final length, as I have explained you, under the influence of this mass, the spring is deflected and the length that we are measuring is final length. Okay, final length from the fulcrum itself, and deflection is nothing but final length minus initial length. So deflection can be calculated. All these values are in meter, mass in kg. From deflection we are going to find out stiffness constant, which is equal to mass into gravitational acceleration divided by deflection delta. Whatever value of mass that you are putting, suppose initial length is 0.12 for our case. Mass initially you put is 0.1, then after 0.2, then 0.3 kg. Deflected length are 0.162, 0.21, 0.258. See, as load increases, but obviously deflection will increase and final length will be larger. Okay, so from here deflection value are 0.04 meter, 0.09 meter and 0.138 meter. Initial length will be constant, it is 0.12. okay, so 0.162 minus 0.12, 0.21 minus 0.12, 0.25 minus 0.12. so these are the answers, and from here you will get a stiffness value. Okay, so you can easily calculate this, and all these three are almost same, or they are very very nearer to each other. Now what we will do, for a specific number of oscillations. So what is oscillation? When from this equilibrium position the mass initially displaced by this amount, then what happens, due to stiffness, then it reach to this location. This is first position, this is second position, then again it will come back to first position, again it will go back to this position, and slowly gradually what happens, now the mass is here, then mass is here, afterwards mass is here and here, and finally it will come to rest. So these are called number of cycles. First cycle, then first cycle means starting from this point to this point and come back to this point, so this is called one cycle. Again look at the mass from here, here and here, this is second cycle, here, third cycle, from here to here and here, fourth cycle, fifth cycle. So in this way, for 5 cycles we are going to observe what is happening, or how much time period it will take to complete the 5 number of oscillations or number of cycles. So number of cycles, we keep it fixed and it is 5 for all 3 readings. Now with the help of stopwatch we are going to measure the time period. So time period T, it is for first case 2.2 second, for second case 3.1 second, and then 3.4 second. Why? For first case, mass is 0.1 kg. Here it is 0.2 kg. Here it is 0.3 kg. So you can easily understand as mass increases, but obviously time period for completing 5 cycles. See, we are not going to bring the system in equilibrium condition. We simply measure the time period for 5 cycles only. After that we are going to put one another mass. Okay, time period. Therefore T experimental time period, these two are purely with the help of these two columns are purely with the help of experiment. The third one is time period is T upon number of cycles. So it is 0.44, 0.62 and 0.68. Okay, and time period is frequency f. Here frequency f is the reciprocal of time period. You know that frequency f in hertz is the reciprocal of time period. So for that this value T experimental, now let us find out T theoretical. Is it visible? Yes. T theoretical, it is equal to 2 pi square root m by k. So it is equal to 2 pi square root m. Stiffness is what? Mass into gravitational acceleration. Mass into gravitational, stiffness is force per deflection, and force is mg by delta. So k is, I am replacing value k by mg divided by delta. So mg divided by delta, m nullified. So finally it is 2 pi square root delta by g. So theoretical time period can be find out with the help of this equation. Experimental time period is with the help of experiment, and theoretical by calculation. Here we can observe that mass m won't have any existence in this equation. That means it is having zero influence of mass. So T theoretical and T experimental go to this equation. So we can have frequency experimental and frequency theoretical. How? Frequency experimental is 1 upon T experimental, and frequency theoretical is 1 upon T theoretical. Okay, so both frequencies are available. Find out percentage error. So what is percentage error? It is equal to frequency theoretical minus frequency experimental divided by frequency theoretical, multiply it by 100, because we want to find out percentage error. So percentage error can be easily find out. Okay, so after this table, add one table for T theoretical, okay, and then calculate frequency. Frequency is the reciprocal of time period. Okay, so you can have percentage error. You can find out percentage error. So what is to be done in this practical? I am going to give you the entire outline of the practical. प्रैक्टिकल कैसे करना है, क्या करना है, वो पूरा मैं आप लोगों को बताऊंगा. ओके, कितना लिखा जाएगा प्रैक्टिकल के अंदर, वो हर एक चीज़ प्रैक्टिकल सेशन में मैं आपको बताऊंगा आज. ओके, टिल देन गुड बाय.